Hey all, so it's Naomi again. I guess this is going to be a follow up rather than a part 8 of why I think I'm autistic. So it's been obviously a while since I've done any videos. I've been going through so much has happened. Um, Honestly, I've been really struggling. I'm not going to go into too much details because I don't want to bore you with it all, and it's kind of depressing, and let's not be depressed because why? Why would anyone want that? Basically, when you're on an autistic journey, though, I will say this that you are more self aware of everything that you are now aware of yourself. Like things that you normally wouldn't notice, you notice a lot more. And because of that, it becomes harder and harder and harder. So I've recently been unmasking, and to the point where I've just like been unmasking so much that it's now hard to mask, if that makes any sense. So whenever I would be like out in public, I will take some of my like comfort items with me. Normally, I would take some comfort items with me, but they'd normally be in my bag. I think I had like a couple of stuff in my bag, like one in my bag. I think I mentioned before. I can't remember. And like a teddy in the bag, and then one in the pocket, etc., etc. So I would always have comfort items with me, which made me feel more comfortable. But at the same time as I never really, I didn't feel too. I always felt like I was still partly not being myself, not being true to myself, should we say? So I just wanted to go over a few bits today of how that's changed my life and how where we're at and what's coming up. As you can probably tell, I'm pretty nervous. I haven't done a video in a very long time, so I'm probably going to make a lot of errors or whatever. But I'm going to try and keep this as authentic as possible and not cut it and not do anything. So if I say anything strange, I apologize, but I don't see why that would be a problem. But anyway, you get the idea. So I noticed ever since I started unmasking that I'm finding it harder now to use humor because humor has always been like a defense mechanism. And I also noticed that since me and my partner have been doing a lot more things separately, so normally we did everything together. We would go to like Weatherspoons together to have a coffee together. We would go to the shops together. But basically, we would always be side by side doing things together. So I always had that person with me to bounce off. And I always feel like when I'm with my partner, I'm able to be more my old self, if you will, like the self that I'd created, the self that I was kind of like so used to becoming, if that makes any sense. Whereas now it's like we're doing stuff separately. She's literally, well, we both joined the gym. So to explain how things have been difficult, so we both joined the gym, oddly on Valentine's Day. We both joined the gym on Valentine's Day, and she wants to become a powerlifter, and I think it's fantastic. I'm 100% behind her. I love it. I think it's great. You don't get many women that are into powerlifting. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty out there, but it's less heard of. So when she wants to do powerlifting and become so strong and mighty, it's like it's great. Yeah, I totally love that. I think it's fantastic. I love the fact that she's being herself. But I went to these things with her, and I thought, well, you know what? If she can do powerlifting, I'll do powerlifting. I realized I'm doing the whole mimicking thing again. I'm doing the whole masking thing again, where you mask because you see someone do something and you copy them because that's the normal thing to do. So when I'm in the gym, I'm for the first day I'm like really unsure of what to do, and I'm just trying to copy whatever she's doing. And to be fair, I didn't do too bad. I didn't do quite as good as her when it came to lifting over the head. Um, and I think I really struggled on the first time going to the gym, and I just didn't really feel like I belonged there. I felt anxious, there was too many people, and even though the people don't really care what you're up to or what you're doing, I just felt like I didn't fit in, like I didn't belong. So that caused me a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety, and I left there feeling really deflated when I should have left there feeling great. My partner, on the other hand, she felt great. She left and she felt amazing. She's like, I can't wait to go back again. And I believe we went back either the next day or the day after the next day or whatever. I think possibly the next day. So we went back for a second time, and the second time I actually did a lot better. So we did some deadlifts, and I actually did better than her on the deadlift, which I guess boosted my confidence. So I guess I'm built differently to her. Like I'm more better at pulling stuff, which she's more better at pushing stuff at this point. However, despite doing these things and trying to enjoy them, and as much as I did enjoy parts of it, I still felt like a fish out of water. I felt like I didn't belong in this scenario. It just I felt so out of place. I felt like I was heavily masking. I felt like I'm doing this for her because I want to make her happy because I love her and I want her to succeed. So I'm doing it all for the wrong reasons and I'm trying my hardest to pretend to be someone I'm not. And I realized you are masking again. You're basically doing what you've been doing your entire life and you're masking again. And it took me a while and then I think we took a day off and then had another day and I tried again and then I became ill because I got a lot of health issues related to FND, possibly undiagnosed fibromyalgia. I have chronic fatigue syndrome, so I get really tired. If you've heard of the spoon theory, basically there's only so many spoons a person has, and typical people who don't have problems with like fatigue and stuff will only say use one spoon to do say a large task. Like they might do like they might go for a jog that morning and that'll cost them one spoon. They might hoover the house, that'll cost them one spoon. But for someone who's got chronic fatigue, for instance, like myself, going for a jog would cost me 3 spoons. Hoovering the house might cost me an extra 5 spoons. You get the idea, and by the time like you feel fantastic at the time, although hoovering's never fantastic or fun unless you're really into that. I personally don't enjoy hoovering, but you get the idea. If you once you've done these tasks, you might feel fine on the day. It's the next day or the day after that your body just can't keep up and you're burnt out and that's it. And that causes depression, you feel sluggish, you can't get out of bed. And that's a whole different story. So, yes, I felt like I was heavily masking no matter when I went to the gym, and that kind of put me off a little bit anyway. But I thought, you know what, I'll go one more time. So I went back like a week later after I'd been on antibiotics to get better because I caught like some like flu or something. Maybe I was just run down, and I know they say when you run down you can get like flu-like symptoms, but maybe I did pick something up. Who knows? Because she's a lot healthier than me. She is younger than me after all, and she didn't get any illness at all. Only I did. So who knows if it was the flu? I did explain to the doctor, and they said it could have been the flu, it could have been a heavy cold, could have been anything. The point is, it affected me a lot worse than it affected. Well, it didn't affect her at all. And she was still going to the gym throughout this time, which I must say I'm extremely proud of her. She's been sticking to it. She's been loving it. She's been buying all the clothes to go out to the bottles. She's been really, really going for it. And I couldn't be more proud. Anyway, so I tried to go like another time, and on the fourth time I went, I just felt like no matter how much I want to be here, I really, really want to be here, and I want to support her, and I want to be like her number one advocate. I want to be like her gym buddy who's like pushing her, and we're pushing each other. And when I was there, I was going like, "Go on, one more, you've got this," and encouraging her, and she was encouraging me, and as much as that felt good, I just couldn't do it anymore. I said, I can't do this. I'm gonna go. So I decided to leave, and when I left the gym, I felt really low-mooded. I went to Weatherspoons, and instead of ordering coffee, I ordered alcohol. Probably the wrong thing to do. And when I got home, well, actually, that's not true. When she got there, I explained to her I was feeling low. I bought her a drink. I said we'd like a meal. We had a really nice meal. Everything was going fantastic, and things really hit me. Depression hit really hard, and I did something stupid that night. Something stupid I will probably regret for a long time. And I ended up in hospital. Not something I'm proud of. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but basically things got really on top of me. I feel like because I've been masking and I've been struggling to mask, and it just got on top of me, and I felt like I was just not being who I was or authentic to who I was. It was just really difficult. But like I said, I won't go into the details because that's not what this is all about. I'm just trying to explain that on the journey of discovering you're autistic, I would like to make anyone who's on their journey or is currently going through a journey to be very self-aware that it does come with a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety. And I'm sure that's not for everyone. I'm sure there's some people who are just fine with it and just get on with it. But if you're really going to go on a journey of self-discovery and going down that road, it can cause a lot of trauma, especially if there's a lot of trauma tied to your childhood, and it all stems back from everything that you've gone through. It's a lot. So just be very mindful, and that's all I can say. Just be mindful. It's not an easy journey. So eventually I got an appointment with the psychiatrist team. After, I think I mentioned I was fighting to get appointments and I kept getting turned down. Eventually I put in a complaint letter to the NHS and they finally seen me. And when I seen me at my first appointment, this was like in December, they just went over my history from when I was a child up until an adult, um, just like basically get to know you kind of appointment. And I felt like that went really well. I kind of left feeling, well, at least counselling's going well. It's not too bad. Anyway, the second time I went there, I wanted to talk about stuff because of what I was going through and discovering my journey, and there was other stuff going on in my relationship at the time. Things were really difficult, and I wanted to talk about what was happening within my relationship, and how I was struggling with my life, and how I was struggling to mask anymore, and like no matter how much I was into society, it was just so difficult. And I couldn't feel like I could fit into society anymore, because now I didn't know how to mask, and I was always unmasked. I always felt like I was unsure. Like I'll explain that in a second. I've literally been buying new comfort items, which I'll show you, which I'll explain in a little bit. So yeah, everything just became so difficult. So in this second appointment, I was kind of looking forward to like kind of getting it off my chest, explaining everything to them. But instead, they asked me tons of questions, which I remember I did like autism questions from my friend who helped me answer a load of questions, which is pretty much covered in all the videos I've done prior to this. And I went through all these like different questions, and I was answering them as much and best as possible in the way that I knew how to answer them, just being honest. And they even asked my partner questions, because she wasn't going to come in originally. She was going to give me some space because she knew that we were struggling at the time. And I said, no, I want you there. And she came in, and it was just as well that she did, because they asked her a lot of questions about me, and she was able to fill in the blanks, which I wasn't able to do because I was so anxious at the time, and I just felt really nervous. But at the end of it, they mentioned that we want to get you a diagnosis, and I was thinking, well, a diagnosis of what? Because I mean, you've just asked me a lot of autistic questions, but I didn't really state to them that I knew that that's what they were. I recognized them because I'd already covered them with my friend, who, like I think I mentioned before, who works with people who are autistic or has worked with people who are autistic. So yeah, so that was extremely like strange. And then she gave me this letter, or rather a leaflet about a thing called SWAN, which stands for Scottish Women Autism Network. And when she passed me that, it made me think, well, it must be to do with autism then. Maybe they want to get me an autistic diagnosis. Finally, something's moving forward. So I kind of left there feeling a bit good. Now, this was obviously prior to like the happening of the gym and all the other stuff. So I was told I got an appointment coming up on the 27th, but I was still unsure of what everything was, and because my head was all over the place, and I just come out of hospital at the time on the Thursday, like last Thursday, I think it would have been now. A week today, actually, yeah. Wow, it's been a week already. So it's a week today I came out of hospital, and when I spoke to the crisis team at the time, they explained to me, and they gave me like a place called Number Six, which is basically another autism organisation. So I phoned this organisation up. I thought, you know what, I'll phone it up. I was feeling optimistic. This was like 2 or 3 days later. I thought I'll phone it up. So I phoned it up and said, well, what do you offer basically? And they went into details. They said they did like group activities, arts and crafts, cinema days out, group walks, one-on-one to help you get back into work. Now, I think I've mentioned in my videos before, I'm like 45 now, and the last time I worked was when I was 17, if you don't count like part-time or voluntary work that I've done here and there, like a couple of times throughout my life. But the point is, I haven't really worked because I've struggled so much within society to fit in that I found it really, really difficult. And if you wonder what that noise is, it's my cat playing with a ball down on the floor, which is kind of cute. But yeah, so it's been so hard, and she was just telling me all these amazing things about how they can do one-on-one stuff to help you back into work, to help work that might suit you and your needs and stuff like that. I thought, you know what, this sounds amazing. This is exactly what I need. I need this. This is what I need in my life. I want to be able to feel like I can fit into society. And yes, I've got disabilities, and yes, I've got things that can limit me and make it difficult, like mobility issues and things like that. So it's not so easy as just getting back into work. But that's the whole point. If they can do a one-on-one, they can break down all that and figure out what your strengths, weaknesses are, and hopefully help me. And then she said to me, "So what's your so and so number?" I don't know what the number is, but it's basically an autistic type number. I think like a registration number for being a formally diagnosed autistic person. And I explained I don't have one. I'm not formally diagnosed, hence why we're doing these videos and we're on this journey. And she said, "Oh well, until you get that information, I can't help you." And I just felt absolutely crushed. I remember coming off the phone call. I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks. I guess I'll get in touch with you when I find out and I finally get a formal diagnosis, because I think I'm possibly on the track to get one because of obviously this one thing, and you get the idea." So I came off the phone call and I remember just like, I've got a punch bag that sometimes I train on, not very often because I've just been lazy recently and going through a lot of depression, so I've been struggling. And I just remember hitting it just to get some anger out because I felt so frustrated and angry at times, which is another thing. I've been feeling angry a lot recently. I'm either angry or sad, and I think that's what at the time was causing a lot of problems within our relationship. I was just so upset all the time, feeling like my life is just falling apart, and no matter how much I try in life, I always seem to fall short. And I felt like this was another one of those falling short, not through my own fault, but just because the system again doesn't allow you to join this unless you're formally diagnosed. And then I just remember breaking down and crying again, and I just sobbed my heart out, and it was just really, really hard. But I told myself, do you know what? I need to phone these people up to find out. I need to know whether this appointment on the 27th is to do with an autism diagnosis. Like, are they going to refer me forward, or are they going to be able to diagnose me there and then? Or I needed to know more information. So basically, I give them a phone call back, and the woman on the phone said, "I'm sorry, I don't really know what the appointment's about. I'm just a secretary. I can't really help you." And I came off the phone feeling really sad and not really knowing, and thinking, I've got to wait till the 27th. It's quite a while away. This was a couple of days ago at this point. And I thought, do you know what? I can't do this. I need to phone back again. So I phoned back again, and it was a different woman who answered this time. And I spoke to her and I said, "Look, I really need to know what the appointment's for. Is there any way you can find out?" And she said she's going to get the woman to call me back. But the woman didn't call me back because apparently the woman was ill. But I was told I was going to get a call back later that day. So when I didn't get a call back, again I felt deflated. It felt like the whole world's against you. And if anyone who knows who is actually being diagnosed as autistic, or maybe are just self-aware that they are autistic themselves, know that this sort of thing can really deregulate you and upset you. And I mean, it would probably upset a regular person, someone who's not autistic, just to be constantly let down. Do you know what I mean? I think that would upset anyone. So the day after, I thought, you know what, I'll try again. So I phoned back up again and said, "Look, I didn't get a phone call. Is there any reason why?" And the woman explained that she was ill, and that basically I'll get her to call you in a couple of days' time. And I said, "Is there any way you can just let me know what the appointment's about? I just need to know what the appointment's about. I need to know whether it's just a mental health appointment to counselling or something, or if it's to do with assessment." Because they mentioned about the diagnosis thing. Is it a diagnosis to do with autism, or is it a diagnosis to do with something completely different that I'm unaware of? And the woman said, "Well, on your original referral notes, it says mental health assessment. It says patient mental health assessment and possible ASD." Now, when she said that, I was like, ASD? That means autism spectrum disorder. Possible autism spectrum disorder. So it sounds like they are literally looking to diagnose me with possible autism, or at least to refer me onto the right people coming in the future. So hopefully that'll be something positive. So I've come away from the phone and I'm feeling a bit optimistic about that. And I'm trying to be more optimistic, and hopefully it's just a waiting game. I don't like waiting, but I'll have to just wait and accept it. Anyway, I wanted to go over some of the new comfort items I got. So obviously you've seen, well, I believe you've seen them. I believe you've seen Mooncake. And if you haven't, this is my favorite little fluffy um, companion that I take with me in my bag. I'm pretty sure I probably covered this little guy or this little girl because her original name is meant to be Amber, but I call her Mooncake because I she reminds me of like the color of the moon, like when I don't know, like I don't know. I know moons are not necessarily red. I don't know. Mooncake just felt like the right color or name for her, and she's my favourite little thing. I take it, and she was given to me off my good friend Tegan. So yeah, I absolutely love her, and she's very sentimental to me, and she comes with me absolutely everywhere I go. I will not leave the house without her. So yeah, I love her to bits. I'm really really attached to her. Now the second one I want to show you is I've been recently collecting Blythe dolls. So if any of you people know what a Blythe doll is, they're basically dolls that were originally created for children many, many years ago, but they ended up not being suitable for children, so they originally got cancelled, and then they got relaunched many years later, I believe, for adults, for like posing dolls. And you can pick them up, like, not this particular one, but you can pick up like just standard ones, which they have like how would I explain it? Like shiny faces, like non. There's like a matte finish, but like yeah. And basically, people customize these, so you can pick them up quite cheap. You can get like a lot. There's a lot of fake ones out there which you can get from AliExpress, which basically like 30, 40 quid, or even 16 quid or something like really really cheap. And you can like customize them yourself, and that's what people do. They tend to buy them and customize them, and this one was customized um, by someone on Etsy. I can't remember the name, but she's my favorite little thing, and she has to come with me everywhere I go. And I tend to just like hold her in my hand like this when I walk down the streets, and I get the strangest of looks. People think I'm strange, but you know what? I absolutely love her. She's like a daughter to me, and I've named her Emily. And I just think she's absolutely adorable. So, yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen them. I don't even know if I've even covered them. Possibly I have in other videos. But if you do that, their eyes change. And I've made like photographs on my Instagram. Well, actually, they're not on Instagram yet. I plan to upload them to Instagram later today. They're actually on my Facebook currently. So yeah, they're just really sweet dolls. Their hands can be like popped off, and you can swap out different hand poses and stuff. And I've been getting into photography a lot recently and taking pictures of the dolls. And yeah, so she's my favorite doll to take with me wherever I go. I just need to take her. I don't like leaving her, and I like holding her. And I feel like it's partly to do with the weight of her as well. Like not only she's a comfort item, but her weight, because she's quite heavy because they got like larger heads, if you will. um, they are kind of like how you get weighted blankets for people to be comfortable. She's kind of like a weighted doll, which allows me to, I guess, stop stimming with my hand as much. So I'm more likely to just hold her, and I just feel so much comfort, and I feel safe whenever I'm out and about. I feel safe, but I must look strange because I do tend to just hold her in my hand, and I've got my bag with my teddies in it and stuff. So I'm pretty sure I look kind of strange, and this is part of me just unmasking and being the authentic me. But I wouldn't change it now. I feel like this is who I am, and I'm not. I don't mind. I don't mind that people think I'm strange because so what if I'm a little bit more colourful and I'm a little bit more different. I just really enjoy Blythe dolls, and it was my friend that originally had the Blythe dolls, and I saw them, and at first I thought, am I just copying? Am I doing the whole thing where I'm at the gym again, copying my partner? Is it really for me? But over time I've realised, yeah, this is definitely for me, and it's okay to share interests with people, and I realised it's okay that I can have some interests that other friends have. So I've been really enjoying doing the photography for different ones. I'm going to show you another one that I got, which is a very unique one, which I've called Blossom. And she's my fawn, which she was designed. And as you can see, she's absolutely gorgeous. She's got like the different color eyes. She's got like the brown and the is it a blue eye, brown and blue. And I put these little glasses on her. These didn't actually come with her. This outfit didn't come with her either, but I actually changed her body, so she came with a lot longer body, and I can see why the artist did this. They did it because it was like to try and represent the styling of like deers or fawns have longer legs. And to be fair, I thought for an artistic point of view, it was actually a really good choice. So I must say that I thought the person who created the doll probably did the right thing to give the body that they did. However, because of that, the body was very limited. You couldn't like bend the joints as well. The legs would bend, but they were very obviously very stiff. And there was and because of her hands, like these hands can be changed out for different posable ones. The hands that were on the other on the original doll wouldn't be able to hold anything. And I really want to do stuff with this doll. I want to take it into the forest at some point and get some really artistic shots of her. I can just show you her eyes too. So if you close the eyes and open them, she's got like, if you see here, she's got like deers in her eyes. So that's kind of unique. I've got like a fairy one and I've got like a bunch of other ones, but yeah, I think my favourite eyes for this one has definitely got to be the different colour eyes. There is a term for it, I forgot what the term is, and I'm not going to look it up right now because we're in the middle of doing a video. But yeah, I absolutely love her too. She's another one, she's probably one of my favourites out of all my Blythe dolls. I've got a bunch of Blythe dolls now, I think I've got like 7 or 8. I might do a video showing all the different ones that I've collected so far. But yeah, she's absolutely beautiful. And the person who made this was really kind and also made antlers for myself. So I've actually got like, where I'm wearing like these cat ears, I've got antlers that match this with the same little ears here, which I have wore out, and I do have a photograph on my Facebook of it. But yeah, so I really appreciate that, and that was a really kind thing to do. I plan to take some Easter photographs in maybe the upcoming week, closer as I get closer to Easter. I bought some mini eggs. I'm going to put them in a basket, and hopefully like we can have like a little Easter theme going on. And if I can get some near some woods or a forest, then I can either take, well, not either, I will take this one, Blossom, or aka Fawn, as what she's known as. Her original name was Fawn. I called her Blossom because I figured she is a fawn, so Blossom could be like a name for like the time of year she's born. I don't know, I just felt like springtime, things blossom. You get the idea. I just thought she's like really, really sweet. So I wanted to show her off. I'm not going to show any more off, but as like I say, when it comes to going out, I don't obviously take her with me everywhere I go because it's not like I don't like her or anything like that. I do really love her, but Emily just feels more like a little daughter to me, and she's just more of a, I feel more connected to this Blythe doll than I do any other Blythe doll. I guess everyone has a favourite. It's not that I don't think the other doll's not beautiful. The other doll is extremely well crafted and absolutely stunning. And I think the other doll will probably give much better photographs when it comes to like scenery, when it comes to the woods. So she's going to have her uses and she's going to look fantastic. I think we've pretty much covered what we're going to say for today. Like I say, I wasn't even expecting to do a video. I just wanted to do like a follow-up. So I'm hoping in the near future I will update everyone on the 27th. What's happening and whether they are going forward with the diagnosis or whether I'm being referred. I will have more news basically on the 27th. So we're coming up to half an hour now. I appreciate you if you've been watching this video, and I thank you all, and I hope you all have a fantastic time. And look, there's my cat Fudge in the background. The room's a bit of a mess at the moment, but yeah. Alright, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a fantastic Easter. I hope you all stay safe, and I hope you don't do anything silly like I did. Alright, love and hugs to you all. Bye bye for now.